Welcome back, everybody. Level M Diecast. A little bit of a special edition for you guys today. We're going a little bit old school. This is Matchbox Collectibles Elvis. These are from 2001. There are 5 vehicles in the set, plus an additional box set and Skybuster set. I do not have the Skybuster set, though. We're just going to go over the display sets and the 4-car set. These are Elvis Presley, born 1935, January 8th, the king of rock and roll. Definitely well before my time, but I'm sure there's probably some of you guys watching on the channel that were alive when Elvis was kicking around, having a good old time. There is the hologram on these. This is number 1. This is the Cadillac Fleetwood. This one is pretty nice. It is Roll Riders all decoed up. Very nice display in the back. Yes, we are going to crack these all open. Don't you worry. We're going to go over what we have first, though. So there is number 1. Number 2 in the set, this is the El Dorado in purple. This is especially nice, especially good looking. You'll notice all the backgrounds are the same on all of them. Like I said, number 2. This one is definitely one of the best ones, especially with the painted spare tire. Just looks really good. Some details on the inside of there. So we'll take a look at these guys when we get them all cracked open. So number 1, number 2. Number 3, this one is pretty cool. This is a casting that hasn't been used hardly at all. This is the MG 60 MG. This one is very, very nice. White wall tires on there. Roll Riders looks good. Very, very nice casting. Really like this casting. Super, super fragile window in there for sure. Definitely not meant to be played with model at all. So number 3 in the mix. And just in case you guys were curious on the box deets on the back, there you go. Take a look at all of them. You can already see what the next one is going to be based on that information. That is the 1960 Jeep in pink. This is the old school Jeep casting from Matchbox. So this is none of these are new tools. That MG might have been a new tool at this period in time, but the rest of these were existing tools. These were very recent tooling as well. This one looks pretty good though. Roll Riders as well. A couple shades of pink. I'm pretty sure it'll have a removable top when we get it off. It does have spare tire on the back with the stripes. Number 4. No particular Jeeps on the particular Jeeps. No particular details on the bottom. Just figured I'd show that off to you guys. Last one in this set. Number 5. This is the Ford Thunderbird. This casting has been used a ridiculous amount of times. These are all exclusive though. So even though this does look like many versions of the Thunderbird that they've released, this one is exclusive to itself. So pretty exciting to get that one cracked open. There's just so many of them, But there was one other box set released as a kind of a addition to these. Now, it included 4 of these 5 models. However, they were very cheapened up, I guess you can say. So this is that pack here. Matchbox Collectibles. See, there is the yellow Jeep. It's a little bit later, though. It does have saw blade wheels. Plastic wheels, you know, no Rail Riders. There's the same purple El Dorado, little less details in there. The Fleetwood, little less details. And then, of course, the MG, even less details. But they all have plastic wheels compared to these guys that have Rail Riders. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our trusty old little blade here, our OSHA-approved blade. We are going to take this box. We're going to cut this guy open just so we can take a look at what he's got on the inside. A couple of pieces of tape. Doesn't really matter to tear the box because we're not going to keep the box. Just get the one side open so that we can showcase what this is. We will look at the models separately, guys, so don't you worry. And rip it open. There we go. All right. Throw it away. Didn't realize these come in these really nice acrylic boxes. I'll have to see how that's attached. Looks like maybe just a couple screws, couple levels of screws. Get this guy popped. Real time, guys, real time. Have to pull this one a little bit closer and get this guy. Trying to do this without breaking it because I do want to keep these cases, but I don't want to keep the models in the cases. All right. Well, that was a little bit more involved than I thought. There is the case. Does have your Matchbox Collectibles logo on there, which just absolutely will not show up because the focus is going right through the acrylic. There is the quote-unquote diorama setup. It is pretty nice. It's very nicely painted up. Very non-dimensional. There is a postcard in the back. I believe this is Elvis's house. There's the deets on the back for this particular 1957 Ford Thunderbird. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize there was all this information with these, but it is collectibles. So these were meant for the adult collector for sure. Pretty rudimentary on the back. No surprise. You're never going to see that part of it. This is just the base here. The models are screwed on. There's 2 levels of screws, so this screw comes off. This base piece comes off, and then there's 2 more screws in the bottom of the car. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all the cars open and take a look at the good stuff. All right, guys, we're going to kick this off with the first model here. This is the 1957 Ford Thunderbird. This casting's been used ridiculous amount of times, but this is probably one of its best versions. Front and rear tampos, got your trim around the windshield all done up. Particularly like the print on the back of the spare tire looks very good. These white wall wheel riders are, they had these in Premiere, so these were not a new wheel at the time. But they perfected the production quality of them. Early versions of this wheel and this white wall on other castings was a little rough. This one looks very good. Looks very appropriate. Does have some additional Premiere-like details with the 2 colors on the interior with the black and the white inserts. Looks very, very good. It's a pretty nice model. I've never been a huge fan of this particular casting, but Matchbox has used it extensively for sure. One thing about these models is they were screwed in through the rivet holes. So the rivets are done up for the screws. So I thought that was pretty ingenious, not having to modify the bases on these. Next one here, 1960 MG. This one is a fantastic casting. Very tiny, very small. Matchbox did a really, really good job on this one. The windshield's pretty fragile. It's just kind of notched into 2 little marks on the casting. It's not like nowadays where most of their convertibles, it's real thick plastic, and they have a piece of plastic that slides all the way under the front hood to hold that piece in there. But this casting was intended and originally created for premium type releases like this one. This one looks very good. Chrome base, same wheels and white walls like the last one we just looked at, that Thunderbird. Some additional tampos on the tops. Looks pretty good. Got that plate on the back as well. Nice little touch. This particular one doesn't have any two-tone on the interior, although it does have a little bit of black print on the dashboard, which is interesting because it's not something you really notice all that much. Now, their other version of this one is the plain Jane version. They came in the plain Jane box. So this guy does not obviously have real riders. He's got plastic wheels. It is those lace wheels. Still front and rear tampos. Does still have all the details on the top. Has the same decoed up windshield. Looks pretty good. Same chrome base. Same chrome grill. It looks all right. I mean, it just kind of looks like a wheel swap a little bit. This guy is a little bit different because he just has the solid dashboard. The previous one had a little bit of red print in there. And then this guy doesn't get any license plate printing on the back. So, not a huge difference, but just a little bit. Kind of like, hey, we want to make more, but we want to cut the cost down. Cadillac Fleetwood. This is probably one of the most iconic cars from Elvis Presley. It is also said this was one of, if not his favorite vehicle to drive, the iconic pink Cadillac. It's a pretty big car in real life. Matchbox has made a decent amount of versions of these. We did see a purple one in the basic range not that long ago. Or I should say a pink one with a gray top. These are pink with white tops. This one is pretty nice. There's some Easter eggs on this particular version. I am especially stoked at the wheels and the tires. They're such a good combination. They look so good on this model. It just really makes it pop. Lots of chrome details. Looks pretty good. Front and rear tampos. Got your Cadillac Fleetwood logo on the back. A little bit of taillight print, or license plate printing as well. Again, chrome base. You got multicolor on the roof, which looks pretty good. That whole roof section is plastic. So plastic roof and metal body. Now, the one cool thing about an Easter egg on this guy is he does have tampo on the interior, which you wouldn't expect because you can't really see it. It's not like a convertible like we've been looking at. Now, I don't know if I can show this on the camera. I'm hoping I can. But you see down in there? You can see all the pink along the doors. You got pink along the steering wheel. Black on the floorboards in there. Looks pretty good. And if you could barely see down in there, it says EP for Elvis Presley. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool touch that you wouldn't know. You might be able to see that in the package, but you'd really have to pay attention to that. And it's just a really nice touch. And it's kind of a Easter egg for those of us who actually crack these open. I don't anticipate many of these were cracked open over the years, but we did, because that's what we do here. This is the cheaper version. And you can tell right off the bat. It does have the lace wheels, which isn't too bad. A little less printing though. Overall on the car. Does not have the top of the hood ornament printed up there, but does have the logo and the headlights. Cadillac on the side. You can see that the top is only one piece with the white. It doesn't have gray for all the trim, or I should say silver. Obviously no tampo print on the interior. And then taking a look at the back, there is no tampo print on the back of the model whatsoever. But at least we still get a chrome base, which is pretty nice. So it's almost like these are like these almost look like the test shot or the pre-pro to the final version, which I thought was kind of interesting. Pretty interesting. Next one up, this is the Cadillac El Dorado. Another very large car, very nice car. This one's not too bad, 1956. This model did have, it was tooled up to have opening doors. If you look in there, you'll see that the door panels are separate from the interior. There's like a break in there, which interesting on that assembly. This one's pretty nice. It's metallic purple, those same fantastic wheels with the rubber tires as the last Cadillac we just looked at. Full front and rear tampos. This guy does have the hood ornaments tampoed up there. Looks pretty good. It is convertible, so it does have pretty good tampo in the inside of it, but it's not dramatic. There's not a whole lot done. Very minimal on the door panels. Got some stuff on the dash, the steering wheel, and then of course the floorboards. But the money one on this one is that spare tire. The print on that spare tire is fantastic because that is part of the base. So they definitely went through the effort to really spruce that up. Looks very good. And of course, right off those huge fins, it does have taillights. So very nice. This is the quote-unquote dumbed down version. Again, lace wheels seem to be the only wheel they were using at the time. So this guy has significantly less tampo print. The purple is much darker as well. No trim around the windshield. No print on the inside. But overall, I think it's pretty nice. Looks pretty good. It's a pretty nice version. This is basically something you'd see in the basic range, though, with the level of tampo print it has on there. And, of course, makes a big difference when that spare tire is not done up. Just saying. All right, going on to something that's not a car. This is the Jeep, 1960 Jeep. I love the fact this thing's in pink. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Pink with pink stripes. Got the spare tire on there. These are the same wheels as the Cadillacs. Superb wheel. Really like that Real Rider a lot. Pretty much everything they've ever put on looks good. This guy is pretty nice. I like it just because it's so different. And it's got two different pinks on it. The tampo's pretty involved. Pretty much everything has some type of tampo on it. And of course, this is, harking back to the old school Lesney Jeep. So it looks pretty good. It's pretty cool. Kind of seeing this guy roll around as the US Jeep logo on him. It does have the top piece, which I'm pretty sure is removable. Okay, guess not. It might be glued on there. Yep. Definitely doesn't come off. Well, we learned something new. We both learned something today. But this guy doesn't have a chrome base, though. I think the chrome base would have worked pretty good on this guy. But the good thing about this one is he's got the black base, but he's got the painted bumpers. And that makes the difference. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. You guys like that model? It's all right. It's all right. Basic version of that same one. This one is just absolutely killed because of the saw blade wheels. They're just terrible. Saw blade wheels are just terrible. I'm trying to find something nice to say about it, and there's just nothing nice to say about the saw blade wheels. This one has significantly less tampo. The seats are not tampoed up. There's a lot less detail on the dash. The steering wheel is not done up. The whole thing is done as one single pink, not two-tone pink. Don't have the brake on the base either. Not tampoed up or nothing. Of course, no Real Riders because you have those ugly saw blade wheels. But it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool. So we can live with it. We can live with it. So what we're going to do, we're going to put on kind of like a show of all the models that have these ridiculously good wheels on it. Got our Fleetwood, we got our Jeep, and then we're going to do our Cadillac El Dorado in purple. Looking pretty good. So there you go. That is Elvis set. Kind of different, kind of interesting. I've been looking for these models for a little bit to add to the collection because I didn't have them. Fortunately, picked up the whole set. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you think about the Elvis stuff, or if you guys like Elvis or not. Personally, not a fan of the music, just, before my time. But definitely happy to add the cars to the collection. So there you go. Level 1 Diecast. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Hunkaburger love. We're going to roll out. Peace.